Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. I've had a lot of people ask me, Scott, do you use those foam guns instead of a foam cannon? Not professionally, but I tell you what, I like them when I'm at home. I like when I'm just having a lazy Saturday early morning or a Sunday evening after dinner and I'm not working in direct sunlight. I don't want to break out a power washer. Maybe you don't own a power washer, but you like the idea of foaming up your car. These foam guns are pretty cool. This one is made by Gilmore. I think it's the Gilmore 2 series. Some of them have where you fill up so much with soap and then you fill up the rest with water. This particular Gilmore, you just fill the whole sucker right up with soap, and then on top of this feeder head, you adjust how much foam. I got it set to maximum foam. If we're going to do this, let's have some fun with it, right? So that's how it works. One of the downsides to these things, they'll go through a lot of soap. That's kind of a bummer. Usually when I use it, I use the Blue Coral Wash and Wax. That stuff's like cheap as can be, and I just fill this sucker right up and go to town and have fun. The other unfortunate part with this thing is when you disconnect this little quick disconnect from the foam gun, this little disconnect kind of interferes with the way the water comes out of the nozzle. Pretty much all you're going to have is a straight line shot of water. You don't really get a fan misting to be able to flood the panel off. You can get it, but boy, you got to get the nozzle just right because this little disconnect kind of interferes with the way the water comes out of the nozzle. Not the end of the world, but the way I would use this system, of course, I want to rinse my car off first. I want to make sure I rinse off as much loose dirt and unbonded contaminants as I can. I'm going to go ahead and connect this thing. Another thing I'll tell you guys is make sure your connection's really strong there before you squeeze the nozzle and point this thing towards the car. Like an idiot, I learned the hard way. This thing came off and hit not this car, but a car I've had in the past, and I felt like a real moron. So make sure that's got a nice connection before you point it towards the car. Does this thing foam? Holy crap, guys, it really does foam. So if I wanted a lot of juicy foam on the hood, kind of like I have there now, I'll let it sit. I'm not working in direct sunlight, and I've already rinsed off the panel. I've gotten a lot of the loose dust and dirt off the car already. I'm going to take my wash mitt. You decide what wash mitt you like, and I'll just go in here and kind of do one panel at a time. If you're not working in direct sunlight, you can do the whole car. It's totally up to you. But I'll go in here and lightly massage the soap over the panel, make sure I'm not being too aggressive. I'll do the other side of the panel here, and I'll work my way to the other side of the hood. Typically when I wash a car, I try not to go over the same spot twice. That's kind of my rule, and I always go in straight lines, kind of the way the wind would blow over the vehicle. Then what I'll do, this is probably the one time I like having a bucket system. You want to see what I'm doing? Check this out. So you've got your foam gun that's going to give you all the soap you need, right? Then what I got is my rinse bucket. I'll put that in there and kind of let it rinse, and I'll agitate it to get off some of the dirt. But in the meantime, I'm just going to rinse off this panel. I'll show you how I do it. Scott, we know how to rinse off a car. Stop treating us like babies. Hey, it's fun. Let's have some fun with this. Then I'll rinse off the car. Again, with this particular model, with this disconnect on the end of it, it really stinks because I can't flood the panel. I feel like it takes too long to get the soap off. But if I took this off, I'd have full function of the nozzle, but it's a little bummer. But there I go. Won't kill you with the whole process, but I think you get the point. Are these things fun to work with? Are they effective? The answer is yes. Maybe you live in an area where you're not allowed to have a gas power washer, maybe like a townhome or a condo, but you have access to water and you want to foam up your vehicle. I think these things are great. Try to find an economical soap that you don't mind going through a lot of, because you will with these particular things. But if you don't have a power washer, you don't want to set it up, you want to get right to the punch, have an extra bucket on the ground with some water, right? I always beat up the bucket system, but this is a time where you can rinse it and kind of get ready for your next panel and just work around the car at your leisure as quick as you want to go. You're always going to have enough soap available to you. If you feel you've left you don't have enough lubrication, spray it into your wash mitt. There's all sorts of ways you can do this, but look at this foam, it's pretty cool. I got it set on its highest setting. Pretty tenacious, it's pretty amazing. I like it. Boy, I've probably used a quarter of the bottle so far, right? Maybe not that much, but each panel is going to take a little bit of soap. Lightly massage the soap with your wash mitt on each panel, rinse off, work around the car, don't work in direct sunlight. I like them. I can't use them professionally because they're not efficient enough. I go through too much soap. But I love it as a car enthusiast, and hey, I'm a car enthusiast as well. I love you guys. Just wanted to answer that question. Do I like these things? Yes, they're a lot of fun. Are they just as effective as a foam cannon on a power washer? Well, you're going to have more power to rinse the car off, pre-rinse, and then rinse afterwards. That kind of helps along the process, but this is fine for a lot of car enthusiasts. You'll get through the process. You're not going to swirl up the paint. You'll have a tremendous amount of lubrication. If you lose a little, just squeeze the trigger and have some fun. Let it snow all over your car. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Having a little fun on what is today? Wednesday afternoon. I'm kind of out of direct sunlight. I'll wash the rest of my car. Talk to you guys later.